Say back and forth. All right. The few, the proud, the high schoolers, welcome. Let me figure out how to turn all this stuff off here real quick. I don't know how to turn it off from this iPad, but it's okay. All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome. Guys doing okay? You guys are high schoolers, and so I'm just going to be like straight up. It's going to be pretty quick, maybe like 15 minutes, and we're going to go through our last psalm of our little last psalm series. Everyone say, little last psalm series. Thank you so much. We have, that's different. That's different with that thing there. I can't lean anymore. We have Psalm 145 tonight. We have learned throughout this entire series so much about worship, who Christ is, how Christ was foretold in the Psalms, and just the resolve of David and his devotion to the Lord. And this is going to be like the icing on top, the final thing. Drew is very smart, so he had us end with the thing that wraps it up the most in the Psalms. So I don't know how that, probably ChatGPT. Drew loves ChatGPT. He just puts in, hey, make me this, and he sends it to me, and I'm like, bro, you didn't even change anything. It legit is ChatGPT with the emojis and stuff. It's fine. It's all right. I'll get there, Soph. It was the next thing I have to say on my notes. You ready? Psalm 145. All right, so Psalm 145. In Psalm 145, before we read it, I'm going to set it up for y'all, okay? So this is David, again, writing this psalm, and most people think he's at the end of his life. So he's thinking back on literally everything he's been through. When he was a teenager, he slapped a giant in the face with a rock, and it died. You know what I'm saying? He was chased down by someone who was supposed to be in charge of him and over him, and really hurt his feelings. Like, they were super good friends, him and this King Saul, and Saul was chasing him around, pretty gnarly, pretty heavy. Then, this is even gnarlier and heavier, he slept with a married woman, got her pregnant, and then tried to kill her husband by sending him to battle on the front lines. Like, that's pretty crazy. So David's like remembering all this, all of the battles he faced, all of the defeats he had, all the victories he had, all the sin that was in his life, all the freedom that he experienced in his life. And he's reflecting on that. He's saying, man, what a crazy life this has been, but the Lord has been with me the whole time. All of it, all the ups and downs. The Lord has been with me the whole time. He's been faithful to David his entire life. Even when David, messing with the married woman and getting her pregnant and killing the husband, he didn't deserve that, right? But the Lord has been faithful. There's nothing David could do that's hilarious, right? Infidelity is awesome. But there's nothing David could do in his life that would make the Lord love him less. Sure, his sin had consequences, and we read about that in other Psalms, like, yeah, he was pretty broken and in a dark place with a lot of the decisions he made, but he never lost the resolve. He never once abandoned his foundation, his rock, which was the Lord. So, got the picture? All that's happened in his life, and he's thinking back. He's like, man, it's been crazy. It's been a wild ride, bruh. And he writes this: I will exalt you, my God, my King. I will praise your name forever and ever. Every day I will praise you and extol. Extol is just a fancy way to say worship. I will extol your name forever and ever. Great is the Lord and most worthy of praise, and his greatness cannot fathom. And his greatness no one can fathom. One generation commends your works to another as they tell of your mighty acts. They speak of the glorious splendor of your majesty, and I will meditate on your wonderful works. They tell of the power of your awesome works, and I will proclaim your great deeds. They celebrate your abundant goodness and joyfully sing your righteousness. The Lord is gracious and compassionate, slow to anger and rich in love. The Lord is good to all. He has compassion on all he has made. All your works praise you, Lord. Your faithful people extol you. Fancy worship, word for worship. They tell of the glory of your kingdom and speak of your might, so that all people may know of your mighty acts and the glorious splendor of your kingdom. Your kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and your dominion endures through all generations. The Lord is trustworthy in all that he promises and faithful in all that he does. The Lord upholds all who fall and lifts up all who are bowed down. The eyes of all look to you, and you give them their food at the proper time. You open your hand, you satisfy the desires of every living thing. The Lord is righteous in all his ways and faithful in all he does. The Lord is near to all who call on him, and to all who call on him in truth. He fulfills the desires of those who fear him, and he hears their cry, and he saves them. The Lord watches over all who love him, but all the wicked he will destroy. My mouth will speak in praise of the Lord. Let every creature praise his holy name forever and ever. I practiced that for like 20 minutes before I came here because I have mad dyslexia and the words just don't make sense. And that's a long psalm, but we did it, everyone. Yeah, we did it. We made it. But the question I had when I was going through this, when Drew gave me the ChatGPT prompt, hey, bro, you're doing 145, and I was like, okay, cool, chat. Great. But the question I had once I read it, I'm like, man, how do I get to the point of my life where I can look back on everything and, like, in every situation, I can have the same attitude about the Lord? When I look back and, like, all the stupid stuff I did, all the good times, the bad times, the dumb, embarrassing stuff, in the midst of all my craziness, all my stress, all my anxiety, my anger, how can I, in my heart, truly say to the Lord, I will worship you, my God, my King. I will praise your name forever and ever. And so David kind of answers that question in this psalm. In Psalm 145, he answers that question. This is how you have that type of resolve. So we're going to go through that super quick. First, he says, every day I will praise you. David says every day, not just when life is going great, not just on Sunday nights here at youth or Sunday mornings at church, every day. So if you imagine, like, you got some good friends, best friends, it would be a pretty crappy friendship if you only, snapped them once a year or texted them, once a month, right? Like, it wouldn't be a great friendship. So, like, in order to make friends with somebody, you have to open yourself up a little bit. Like, your friend just can't be the one talking all the time. And this was always hard for me. I'm a little emotionally strange. I'm odd. And so, like, letting people see my true emotions and see a little bit of that weirdness, like, makes it hard for me to make friends. I emotionally just, like, close people off. And I got really, really good at faking it for a long time. Like, giving people the smile, saying the right things, what I thought they wanted to hear. And that's how I, like, for 10 years of my life, that's how I made it through every day. And it wasn't just like friendship stuff. It was my Christianity. So I was saved in a really, really tiny town. Like, I started going to church in a really, really tiny town at the age of 15, and everyone knew me in that town as that weird kid who did terrible things and spray painted stuff, right? Then I started going to youth group, and everyone was like, oh, he's not the weird kid anymore. Something amazing happened in his life. And then they gave me a microphone to talk about it. And so my view of Christianity was being celebrated for, not spray painting stuff anymore. And so I continued to do things to get celebrated, not deepen my relationship with the Lord. And so my entire Christian walk, 10 years of me walking with the Lord, was just me trying to figure out how to get celebrated. Like, what's the next thing I can do? What's the next thing I can say? How can I look like a really good Christian when when rubber meets the road, I didn't have, like, a foundation at all? Sounds pretty lame. And I got really lonely because nobody knew the real me. I never let anyone see the real me. But it gets even worse than that. I never let the Lord see the real me. I thought that I was going to, like, annoy him. I thought he didn't have the time for me. I didn't want to show him the real me. And I was struggling, and I had no one to help me because I never opened up like that. And I didn't even know how to let God help me because I was just so emotionally like trashed. Because I just never created a relationship. So, all that to say, God wants that relationship with you. You're not going to annoy him. He wants to know, I say this all the time because it helped me so much. He just wants to know how your day went. He already knows how your day went. He wants to hear it from you. He wants that connection with you. That was the craziest realization that helped me get so unstuck from the weird, emotional, like, God doesn't even want to deal with me place. Some days I would come home from whatever I was doing, wherever I was working, and be like, okay, yeah, terrible day. I didn't even feel like you were close to me today. I would go on walks and be like, I don't even know if my prayers are going anywhere today. Who am I even talking to? But that's when he met me. He met me, and it wasn't like this feeling thing, like, oh, the sunset hit at that exact moment, and I saw the northern lights overhead. No, like, there was such a sweet peace in the fact that I came to him in my grossness, in my emotions going crazy. He said, yeah, it's okay. I got you. We're good. And it was so sweet. He didn't actually like say that, but I had that feeling. You know what I'm trying to say. He does actually want to hear from you. And so if you hear anything tonight, we have 2 more things to talk about in this psalm, and we'll be done. But if you hear anything tonight, he actually wants to hear from you. That creates relationship. Second thing. Everyone say second thing. David says, I will meditate on your wonderful works. So meditation, what David is talking about here, meditation isn't like this, that thing. It just means thinking, like he's talking about thinking about the Lord. And what we think about fills our hearts. If we are constantly spinning in our minds about the stress and the drama and all that stuff, the anxiety, that's what's going to come out. If we're meditating on that, that's what's going to come out. But if we think about like the areas of our life which God has been faithful, where we see his goodness, that will begin to spill out. Our mind is like the algorithm on social media. Like the more you like stuff, the more you share stuff, the more the algorithm shows you that same stuff. That's how they make their fresh, hot cash and steal all of our data. My algorithm is like, I told you I'm weird, and so my algorithm is super trippy. It'll go from like a guy mowing his lawn, a dad, usually it's a dad, probably neglecting his children inside, spending 3 hours mowing his lawn. The lawn looks beautiful. There's like lo-fi music going on, and then the end of the reel comes, and I'm like, okay, cool. And I swipe, and boom, I'm in the middle of this 110 mile an hour car chase. The car is going like straight down a highway. The police are chasing it. Bam, hits a tree and explodes. Somehow the guy gets out, only to be like, his arms get all mauled by the canine unit. And I'm like, oh, geez, blood's gross. And I swipe, and then there's this guy in Home Depot who's hiding behind shelves and throwing glitter and rice on old guys. This is not good. My algorithm's not great. Like, it's a pretty rough algorithm. But what I'm trying to say is, excuse me, now I'm thinking about the poor guy's arms that are mauled by the dog. I don't know, this is actually happening. I can pull it up on yeah, it's actually happening. If I could share my algorithm for a day, that would be a good business idea. Like, share your friend's algorithm for a day? Yeah, Shark Tank. Nobody can steal that. Trademark, copyright, registered. Please don't take it. But a good gauge, okay, back on track. A good gauge to see where you're at with this, like if you're constantly thinking about the stresses of life, the drama, being angry with people, I should have said that snarky comment to them when they were mean to me. A good gauge is the next time you think to pull out your phone, don't, and just literally sit there and think. And if what consumes you, if where your mind naturally goes is the stresses, the weird relationships, the drama, man, I hope I looked okay in that shirt today or something, I don't know. if that's where your mind goes to those type of things, that's when you know you need to rebalance. Like, when you're sitting there and you're thinking, if your mind goes to the things of the Lord, it will continue to go to the things of the Lord, right? It's like that algorithm. So, just to gauge, next time you think to pull your phone out, whenever that might be. I don't know when that happens. It happens to me a lot. It happens to me too much. I got this game that, ADHD is strong today. I got this game where you can like lock your phone, and the longer you lock your phone, you get points, and then the points, like you can pay for like different things in this game with the points. And so I'll just, before I go to sleep, like kind of cheat and set a 3-hour timer and get a lot of points. Well, I mean, it maxes out at 3 hours because I think people do that. You know, they're smart. They're smarter than that. But it's a fun little game. I'm on my phone too much. Watching cars explode at 110 miles an hour. But like, think about it. Where does your mind go? Like, say you don't have Wi-Fi, phone's off or whatever. Does it go to comparing yourself to other people? Replaying those conversations? Wishing you would have said that mean comment? Wishing you were smart enough to say it in the moment? When it's just you and your thought life, where does it go? Really? Where does your mind go? David's mind was meditating, thinking, and just overwhelmed and awestruck by the goodness and the love of God in his life. Even though at times, most of the time, his life was completely bonkers. All right, last thing. Point number 3. Everyone say 3. They tell of the power of your awesome works, and they celebrate your abundant goodness. So, what does that mean? We need to tell people, like, about what the Lord is doing and the good things that he's done in our life. We tell people about the shows we like, the social media stuff we share, and all that. There's nothing wrong with that. But, like, part of praising God, part of the only reason you guys are sitting here, the only reason why Christianity is this thing that it is because generations before you told other people about how good and sweet the Lord is. Because he's good and he's sweet. You think back to, oh my goodness, you think back to like the plague when people were dying. Like a third of Europe just dead. A third or 2/3? A third. Got to get your fractions right. Right? Like Christianity made it through that because people continued to talk about, in the midst of absolute craziness, how good he was. You're here because people like David in the Old Testament, people like Paul and Peter and the apostles in the New Testament couldn't stop telling people how good he was and what he did in their lives. That's hard for me. Super hard for me. I don't like to be emotional. But I'm telling you, when I started sharing how he changed me, how he continues to change me, I began to think more about him. I began to notice the good stuff more. That algorithm. No more car crashes. It can look like you in the middle of a conversation and one of your friends is struggling like pretty hard, or a sibling is struggling pretty hard, and you've kind of gone through the same stuff. Like you've dealt with the same issue. Maybe it's a family thing. Maybe it's a personal thing, an addiction thing. And you're able to tell them, yeah, in that space, it's pretty dark. In those moments, I felt pretty lonely. But guess what got me through it? Like, look what the Lord did. And imagine the encouragement. Somebody who feels so alone, somebody who feels so stuck in their situation, and they hear from somebody the goodness of God and what he actually did. Bruh. Immediately you're connected. Not just to that person. That person, yeah, that's important. But you're connected with the one who makes all things good. It's good to talk about how he has moved in your life and who he is to you. It's good to let other people know how good he is. This is exactly what David's doing in this psalm. Like, sharing his experience about his personal relationship with God, so that in the end, it's not David that people were so impressed with. It's not David that people were, naming churches after, and we're all worshiping David. He's doing that so that God is praised and gets all the glory. So I'm going to read something really quick for just like 2 minutes, I think it'll take me. I wrote this, and so I should be able to read it a little better. I think it's on the screen for people to follow along. All right, where is it? Maybe, maybe not. Hey, there it is. All right, the date, November 10th, 2019 at 10 at night-ish. All right, ready? My eyes are watery and my spirit is low. I'm sad and very scared that I won't be who you need me to be. But you, God, don't need me to be anything more than obedient and to love you. Trying it on my own really just puts me in a bad place. I'm having a tough time talking and coming up with the words to say, so I'll just say, Jesus, just come and be with me. Touch the darkness that gets me. Touch the lack of motivation. Speak so loud, but so quiet to us one-on-one. I don't know what in the world I was talking about there. It's okay, it was late. Take me back to those moments where I could say, I have joy, because lately I have no joy. Please forgive me, Lord, I'm dark. Dust me off and use me to reflect your glory. I need you. Without you, I'm so sad on the inside. It's been a rough couple years for me, but you have been so faithful and consistent, always consistent on your end. I don't want to get lost. I don't want to be harmful. I don't want to ruin your good name. What a good and sweet name that is. A name that is stomped on and forgotten and not feared and blamed. But that name to me is the only thing I think that has kept me alive. The name that took a life so broken and hurt and used it for your love and goodness. I'm so thankful for you, for who you are to me. I have a wife because of you. There's light in my life because of you. I'm free because of you. I have a family because of you. I'm not in a pit because of you. Thank you. Nothing matters but you, Lord. My mind without you doubts. It gets so tired and so sad. It turns so lazy and broken. But the more I think about you, the more I actually spend time with you, the more I thank you for what you have done, the more I see your face. No matter how I feel, I will always thank you. Okay, I do this. Back in the day, I did this when things got pretty tough. I would just pull out my notes. I didn't know what else to do, and I would type. And so now I can go back and look at how absolutely depressing and sad I was. But it's sweet, because I look at where I was in my spiritual walk and my emotional walk and my relational walk with everything, and I can see how he moved. So, I think the song is 2 minutes. For 2 minutes, take out your phone. I'm going to turn on a soft, don't worry back there, Kristen, I got it over here because I'm a media genius. Take out your phones to the Notes app. If you're on Android, I have no idea what they do for notes. Or you can do it in a journal. Anyway, it's just 2 minutes of, it doesn't have to be something like this. I just want us to reflect on what he has done. If you see any of your friends or something, if they're on their phone and scrolling instead of writing this for the next 2 minutes, feel free to yell really loudly. And I think that would be funny. And I'm going to do it too. I'm going to pull out my phone. I'm going to do it too because I haven't done this in a while. The last time I did it was November 10th, 2019. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. All right, 2 minutes, and then we will return.